we're back with another training video. This training video is mostly going to be going over reactivity, like barking, whining, trying to get your dog comfortable with kids. I think that's it. I guess we'll go over reactivity first because that was probably the most requested out of all the topics. Now, people were asking about people reactivity and dog reactivity. Right now, my dad is here, and that's probably one of her biggest reactive triggers is because she loves him. So you can kind of see her following him around because he's running around. So what you want to do is first recognize why your dog is being reactive. Is this an aggressive reaction? Is this an excited reaction? Has your dog been attacked in the past by other dogs or been abused by people? If so, that may be a nervous reaction. Her reaction to people and other dogs is just pure excitement. So that's the first step, is you want to recognize why your dog is being this way. And then right before they start the behavior, that's when you want to get them for it. So, Dad, come here. Now just act like you want her pet. Good girl. So I just use a loud noise to get her distracted. I'm not worrying about her healing right after that because I'm just getting her out of the reactivity. And I'll show you that one more time. And then walk forward. So she's not really whining or barking right now because I don't have another dog and she's been home for a while, so it's not like she just saw my dad. Otherwise she would be whining like crazy. But when you do have another dog, or you do have a person that your dog is whining at or barking at or lunging at, you really just want to make a loud noise before that starts. So if it's an aggressive or a nervous one, you might notice them get tense. They may stick their fur up right before they start going for it. And you'll see them set on something. So as soon as they're set on that thing, you want to make a loud noise to get them distracted and walk the opposite direction, because especially if they're pulling you towards it, if they're pulling you towards that other dog or that person, if you walk, like right now she said, this way, good girl, and now she's focused on me, so that's exactly what you want. Good girl, good girl. So she focused on something else, and as soon as I saw her lock her eyes on that, come on. Good girl, good girl. And I pulled her in my direction. So this isn't regaining the focus. This is telling your dog, I don't want you to do that. Telling your dog, I don't want you to do that. So this is a correction, and it's a correction that's necessary. So especially if you're wanting your dog to be a service dog, your dog cannot be barking and whining at other dogs or people. And in puppies, a lot of times it's just pure excitement. And that's totally normal. I wouldn't start correcting that behavior until they start to get older, so that they understand that you want them to be nice, you want them to be friendly, but there's a time and a place. So a good important thing is, if it is excitement, give them a cue word for when you want them to meet. So if my dad were to walk up right now, I'd be like, go say hi, go say hi. Good girl, go say hi. So go say hi as her cue word for people, and go play as her cue word for other animals. She hasn't really started that yet because I want to make sure she's really down solid with other animals. But with other people, we have started slowly doing that, where she's not allowed to just run up to them. But you really want to make sure you're not doing that too soon, and your dog is very well socialized before doing that. Otherwise, you're going to teach them that other people are bad. You're going to scare them every time they want to go greet another person or another dog. And we don't want that, especially in service dogs. If your dog is reactive because of aggression or fear, I would recommend getting a behaviorist or a professional to look into more of exactly what it's afraid of. Is it a lack of confidence? Unless you can do that yourself and you know how to rehabilitate that and retrain that, I would also take them out of public access training, because that's just too dangerous. You never know what's going to happen, especially in a dog that's afraid or a dog that's just purely angry. So just take them out completely if it's aggression. If it's excitement, that's manageable, that's fine. So now we'll go over getting your dog to stop whining or barking at you when it's trying to get what it wants. So if you are like cooking food or doing something that the dog wants and it whines or it barks at you, this is very similar to just keeping your dog from being reactive to other dogs or other people. But if your dog is whining at you to get what it wants, so she won't whine, but she might jump up. She whined right there. So, good girl. So, that was a little whine. She doesn't really do this, neither of my dogs do, because I correct that as soon as I see that behavior. Again, a loud when they're doing that noise, or they're doing whatever they're doing, whether it be jump on you, bark at you, whine at you. You don't give them what you want, for one. Number two, Wherever the dog is, you turn your back to the dog and you face the other way. But the dog should then ignore you, or it should go lay down or something. It should go do something else. And if it keeps coming at you and whining, you just turn your back to the dog. That way the dog understands that you're not interested and you're not going to give him what you want. And never give a dog that whines or barks or does something that you don't like to get what it wants. Don't ever give it what it wants in that moment. You can give it what it wants once it calms down, and then it'll associate, if I'm calm, I'll get it. So some people said just stop whining or stop barking. So not necessarily it's a dog being reactive, but it's just whining for seemingly no reason. Usually if a dog is whining, it wants something or it needs something. Make sure it doesn't have to go to the bathroom. Make sure it's not time to eat. Make sure it was fed this morning, it has plenty of water, and make sure it has all of its needs, because it could be whining because it needs something. Otherwise, if it's just whining out of nowhere, give it a few minutes. Especially if it's a very young puppy, that's perfectly normal, but make sure you're ignoring that behavior from a young age, because if you give in to a dog whining, that's when you're going to run into issues. Say if they were in their crate and you just let them out every time they start whining, they're going to learn that if they whine, they get out, and that's what they want. So when a dog is whining for seemingly no reason, and she did this a lot when I first got her because she was babied so bad, you're not going to pay any attention to a dog that is whining or barking for seemingly no reason, because I can guarantee you it's trying to get something that it wants. Alright, and then there's be quiet. If your dog will not be quiet after it's whining and it's barking and you've done the ignore tactic, that's when I would recommend teaching it speak. So every time it barks like that, speak, yes, good girl, and then teach it a quiet command. So if you're at home, it's okay for a dog to bark once or twice at the door. That's perfectly normal. That's just them letting you know someone's there and them letting that person know I'm in here and this is my house. So that's normal. So we're going to allow that behavior. But after it gets so far, 1 to 3 barks at most, and then you're cutting it off. So you want to teach them speak, and then you want to teach them quiet. She doesn't know that command because I don't have an issue with that with her. And honestly, she's not super vocal, so it's kind of hard to get her to speak and teach her to speak. But that's definitely what I would recommend. If you're having issues with getting your dog to be quiet, you've tried the ignore tactic, teach them to speak and teach them a quiet command. And basically for the quiet command, you're just going to go quiet. And then once they're quiet, even for a split second at first, give them a treat. So some people were asking, getting your dog comfortable with kids. This you do want to start from a young age, because kids can be very intimidating for dogs, especially smaller dogs or puppies, because they're down to their height and they're not used to that. And kids tend to want to do this, they'll pull on their ears, they'll pull on their tail. So one, you do want to get the dog used to being touched just about everywhere. So touching their ears, touching their feet, touching their back, touching their tail. You want to touch them just about everywhere and get them used to being touched, so that when a kid does it, it's not as shocking. You can even pull on their ears a little bit and get them used to that, and pull on their feet a little bit, not hard where you're going to hurt the dog, just a little bit, because kids are going to want to do that. They're also going to want to play with their face, and that's where dogs usually have a real big problem. So you want to get your dog used to that too. And when they first meet a kid, you want them to lay down. Down. So you want them to lay down and try to keep them down. She's not going to stay down right now because the concrete is uncomfortable for her. But you want to go ahead and have them lay down and wait until they're calm to let the kid come in, and then do a very slow introduction, especially if you know your dog has struggled with kids in the past. You very much so want to make it a very slow introduction. You may even want to kennel them and have the kid go around them so that the dog can get used to the smell of the child and the energy of the child. So as you can see, Gage has joined us now. He's retired. He's a 10-year-old lab. And that's because this last topic is what to do to keep your dog under control when another dog is instigating. You saw right there, and you heard me do a loud or a loud noise, any kind of loud noise to distract the dog. Even if it's not your dog doing it, if another dog is coming in your dog's face, if you make a loud noise, that owner has no right to say, you can't do that to my dog, because their dog is attacking your dog, or it's coming after your dog and making your dog uncomfortable or stressed. If they don't grab their dog in that moment, that means they don't recognize your dog's behavior, and that could turn into a fight very quickly, and we never ever want that. So you have dogs like her who, if another dog instigates, she'll play right away. So like when her sister was here, they played for an hour non-stop, because she will play if another dog is instigating, and she will instigate. So in that case, good boy, Gage, right there, that little push on the face, and she's going for his face right now, which is normal for her. She's gonna go after his face. Go. right there. So you want to make that noise to your dog to keep them from instigating, and it should also make the other dog back off for a second so that you can get your dog safely away from that area. You don't usually want to use treats if it's a strange dog, because that can cause a fight. The dog could become defensive over the tree. Good boy. Over the tree, and you don't want that to happen. Right there. Good girl. Sit. And then after you get away from that situation and there's no fight that breaks out, your dog is now calm, that's when you want to start working a little bit and get their mind focused so that they're not still anxious the rest of the time, because if they were in a fight that made them stressed or anxious, they're going to keep that energy until you find a way to release it. So let's say they were both stressed right now. Gage doesn't get stressed over much, and she doesn't either, so I don't usually have this issue. So just sit. Good boy. Good girl. And then I'm just going to give them treats to get them to calm down. So basically all you want to do is walk your dog away from the situation. If your dog is off leash, making that and you want recall very, very well, especially if you know that your dog has an issue with other dogs instigating. And it's kind of picky about other dogs. If your dog is off leash, you have to have recall down pat, because you don't want a fight to break out, and you don't want your dog to be put down or labeled as an aggressive dog, where, I mean, from that point on, your dog has so many warnings before they're just going to take it away and get it put down. I think that's it. I think I got everything. As always, leave any comments, questions, concerns in the comments. If these techniques don't work for you, let me know, and we'll find a technique that does work for you and your dog. Because as I always say, one technique does not mean every single dog is going to work with that one specific technique. There is no one technique that works for every dog. If you want to see more videos from me on YouTube and get notifications as they come, you can turn the notification bell on. That way it'll notify you when a new video is uploaded. I know I had a few people ask that, but you just have to hit subscribe, and then once you're subscribed, you just have to hit the little bell icon next to subscribe, and it'll give you a notification on the YouTube app or through your email and let you know that I posted a new video. That way I don't have to keep asking you if you want to be tagged in this video or this video over Facebook. I hope this was helpful for everyone. As always, we love you.